Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Magic is in the air. I'm getting more subscribers to YouTube as well as the blog itself. My Clippers, seems like we're destined to win it this year. And I mean win the whole thing this year. Okay, right now, for those of you watching in the future, it is May 11th, 2015, and we're up 3-1 on the Houston Rockets. We're about to go to the Western Conference Final, so we'll see. This is a first for my beloved and eventual future team that I will own. But anyways, this is how this works. Send in your questions, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, and I'll usually make a video response if I think the question is good and if I think a lot of people might benefit from it. So this one's actually good, and it's someone's question is a follow-up to a video I've done probably 2 or 3 years ago on study coordinator salary. So this one pertains to a startup, a research clinic startup, and study coordinator salary, as well as commission structure and bonuses. So before I get into what I do, I just want to let you know that it may not work for your site. A lot of variables go into play here: overhead, support staff, infrastructure. All kinds of variables go into play here. Okay, your involvement as the owner. What works for me may not work for you, but I will hope to be able to help at least some of you guys out with this. And so this person asked me to email them metrics and commission structures. Look, I don't have any of that stuff. Okay, what I do have and what I can tell you is this: it varies. Okay, if you are involved as an owner and you kind of know what you're doing, let's say you've been in this business for a while, maybe you were a study coordinator at some point, maybe you were a CRA at some point, whatever it may be, if you're involved and know what's going on and know how to handle a clinical trial, you don't necessarily, and you have the time, most importantly, okay, you don't necessarily need to hire an experienced study coordinator. You can hire someone with potential, okay, and the good thing about doing that is you can get them at a relative bargain compared to an experienced study coordinator. So if that's the route you choose to go, I've done both before, okay? Both make sense. It really comes down to you, how you built your site, who you have in place, what your involvement is, and that will dictate the way you should go. So let's go the first route. Someone brand new, inexperienced, but they have a lot of potential, okay? So you're gonna be having to do most of the work. You're gonna be grooming this person over 3 months, maybe 6 months, until they can actually run a study by themselves. So what do you pay them during this first 3 to 6 months? What I like to do, 2 weeks or 1 month free internship. So they come in part-time, and I have to look at whether this is legal. I know I have some official externship programs I run at my clinic, so I know those are legal, but check with your legal counsel first, right, before you do some of these things. Try it at your own risk. 2 weeks to 1 month free internship. That way you know that you're not wasting your money. At least you're just wasting your time if the person's potential was way off as far as your estimation, right? When you start paying them, $12 an hour is very appropriate for someone who has zero experience in clinical research. I don't care what their background is. I don't care if they're a doctor from another country or if they're a former Ivy League grad. It doesn't matter, okay? $12 an hour. After that 3 months or 6 month period, if they're capable of running a study on their own, which during that entire time you're gonna have to be grooming this person to be a coordinator, okay? And you have to make sure that their personality, their work ethic, everything leads up to them or matches up with them being a good coordinator, okay? Once they're able to handle a study or two on their own, that's when you have a discussion about increased salary and bonus structure. So, and increase them slowly. If you start at 12, maybe give them a raise to 15, and another 3 to 6 months, 18, eventually get to like $20 an hour, maybe 22, 24, depending on how good this person really is. Okay, so bonus structure. Okay, as far as bonus structure is concerned, what I do at my clinics might not work for you. Okay, every clinic is unique in this regard. So if you know your number, you know your magic number as far as how many visits you need, at least I hope you know your number, how many visits you need every week to be profitable, and that translates to how many visits you need every month to be profitable. All right, so at one of my clinics, which is in a similar situation as yours from what I understand, it's a startup, it's been around for 8 months, it's not profitable yet, but it's starting to pay the bills on its own, which is good. Believe me, you don't want to be funding clinical research. You want it to eventually pay for itself at your site. So we're at the same situation you're in, I think. Our magic number is 8 visits a week. It's 32 visits a month, although for the sake of simplicity, we made it 30 visits a month. That's our magic number, okay? Any kind of visits, screenings, ongoing visits, screen fails, doesn't matter. Just get 30 visits a month. If my coordinators do that, and this is not just the coordinators that get the bonus, it's the recruiters, the site directors. For every 5 visits over 30 a month, they get a bonus of $500. For every 5 visits over that 5 visits, they get a bonus of $1,000, okay? And that is significant. In addition to that, they get a $50 bonus for every screening and a $50 bonus for every randomization every month. That doesn't matter about any magic number, okay? That's their commission there. That's their incentive to keep screening and randomize. So $50 for every screening, $50 for every randomization, and then every 5 visits over 30 every month, they get $500 bonus. Another 5 after that, they get $1,000 bonus. That's what I do. Now, all this changes if you have no idea what you're doing and you need to hire an experienced study coordinator from the get-go, okay? Because let's say you either don't know what you're doing or you don't have the time to dedicate to this, which I've been in this situation before too, with not having the time to dedicate to this. You need to hire an experienced study coordinator. You don't have time to groom somebody. You don't have time to train someone on GCP and all that stuff. You need someone who already knows what they're doing. Salary is $50,000, $50K to $60K every year, plus these bonuses. That's for an experienced coordinator with at least 1 year of clinical research experience, preferably 2. Okay, because I don't think you could see all the possible situations or scenarios that can arise in clinical research in 1 year. For that matter, I don't even think you can see it in 2 years. I think it takes like 5 to 10 years. So that's my salary and bonus structure for my research staff. It may not work for you, but for me it makes sense, and I think it might make sense for you. You may just need to tweak it based on your magic number, where you are as far as your research clinic, your profitability, your own experience, and your own time involvement. Hopefully this helps. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, and thank you very much for the fantastic question. Take care. Yeah.